Hey guys, welcome back to Draw Along Doodles with Walker. It's been a little while since I've seen you guys, and today we're going to be celebrating Mardi Gras. So, the first thing you're going to need is your white paper and your pencil, and probably an eraser if you've got a hold of one. So, what I'm going to do to start, and I can tell my camera is lagging a little bit, is I'm going to mark about where I think the middle of my paper is towards the top. And then I'm going to come and I'm going to make a wide curve. Okay. So there's my nice wide curve. Okay. Now I'm going to loop it over and I'm going to stop it when it's going straight up and down. So looping it over and stopping it when it's going straight up and down. Okay. Now this is going to cover the front part of the face. So we're going to come down and make a big, long face like a mask. Okay. Now, usually when you have this kind of mask, you have ribbons that tie it on. So we're going to come out. Those are about a thumb width apart. And then out. Okay. Now we're going to draw a line on either side that comes and shows where the bend in that ribbon is. Then we're going to come in and down, in and down. Okay. Now we're going to come up to the middle of this line and follow that same angle in and down, in and down. We're going to bring this one forward just a little bit and then up, forward just a little bit, and up. All right, and now for our last one, we're going to come down and I'm going to curve it slightly toward the end. You can make yours straight. I just like to have a little bit of curve so it feels like the ribbon's really falling. Okay, and then this part's going to come out and out. Okay, and we're going to cut the ends of that ribbon. Very good. So here's what we've got so far. Now, normally, this old-timey mask sits on top of the face, and there are holes for the eyes. So the holes for the eyes line up a little bit below where those ribbons are. So if I come and mark the middle of my mask, just with a really light mark, then I can evenly divide. All right, so to make my eye holes, I'm going to use one long arch, almost like part of an oval, or you could think of it as a rainbow that got really stretched out. Okay. And now I'm going to do the opposite direction. I'm going to curve under to finish that oblong shape. Now, for some people, it's easier to draw the arch up. So if that's you, you can turn it upside down like this to get that oblong shape finished. So it works either way. Okay, and now we're going to come in and put the ridge for the nose. So I'm coming from the corner of that eye. I'm coming down, corner of this eye, down, and then we're going to bump a little bit to the side, a little bit to the side. And we're going to put a small bump in the middle. Because what we're doing is giving the impression of a nose. It won't actually be a nose cutout. Okay. And then usually these masks actually have the mouth covered. So what we're going to do is we're going to create just regular lips. And yes, boys and girls have lips. Everyone does. So we're going to come right underneath the center of that nose and make a small bump and then curve up a little bit and out, up and out. Okay, then we're going to take the bottom curve downwards. Okay, now for the top, we're going to have a smaller, more pronounced U shape. We're going to come up and down, up and down. Now, usually with these, they've got some sort of interesting geometry painted on the face. So you could take this time and create your own. I'm going to draw one along here. You do not have to do the same design I'm doing, but this is just to give you an idea. So one of the things I usually like to do is highlight the space where the cheekbones are so that it creates an interesting curvature. So I think I'm going to come and kind of create a curve and then coming down to a point about where the mouth is. It almost looks like, if you're familiar with the band Kiss, it kind of looks like their makeup. Okay, and then I'm going to have this. I'm going to come from the nose and sweep out. From the nose and sweep out. You'll notice I'm going symmetrically. I'm doing each thing on both sides so that I do not forget what I'm working on. Okay, so I'm coming around. Okay, coming around. Okay, now I also want there to be kind of some jewels looking situation. Okay, in there, and then I want to kind of sprinkle some down here. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, now to get something interesting happening up here. So I think I'm going to come and get a center, kind of a Hershey's Kiss bump or an onion dome right there. Then I'm going to curve to the right. So I just came out and curve. Then I came back in and curve, and I let the line get a little bit wider as it went further down. Out and curve. A little bit wider as it got further down. Oop. And this is the perfect time to use my eraser because I went in a slightly different way than I did the first time. Okay. And I see this one's a little bit more curved in, so I'll adjust that. Now keep in mind, you're drawing this for fun. It doesn't have to be exactly perfect. We'll be excited no matter what you've done. All right, and then I'm going to come up and out. So I'm going to come up and curve out. So I ended up about right here. Up and curve out. Okay, awesome. Now I'm going to come back down and in, down and in. And you know what? I want to use some layering. Okay, cool. And then you know what? I think I want to get some eyelashes on here. I'm going to really stylize them. I'm going up and then coming down. Ha ha. Now, if I wanted to, I could put some feathers on it. I can go back and add my color. I could come back and add some shading and make it really interesting. But that is the basics of a Mardi Gras mask for you guys. So you're going to get your Sharpie. And just like always, I would say our regular lines do best with the big. And I'm going to get the ones I know need to be in front first. So, for example, I know the eyes aren't going to have anything going through them. And then I know it's important to get my nose lines. Okay. And then I'm going to get my overall outline. Okay. Here we go. And then the mouth is also a big part. I'm actually going to curve the mouth up a little bit to make it look a little bit happier. See, all I had to do is curve up the edges of the mouth a little bit. Then I'm going to do his ribbons. There we go. Okay. And then these things would be great with small Sharpie. So I'm going to come and get all those lines that I did to be detailed parts of my design. I'm going to get those with a Sharpie. And I do want to think, ooh, goodness, I have a frog in my throat. I do want to think about being as smooth as I can. And in a minute, you and I will go in and add some shading to make our ribbons look a little bit more three-dimensional. Now, one of the things I'm going to do when I come in to get this jewel is I'm going to come in and I'm going to put little marks at north, south, east, and west, just like you would see that fragmentation in a jewel. It's going to help us see it in our fake jewels. Now, the small ones, it's really going to be too small to do that. But you can see the detail that helps add. Okay, so I've got one side Sharpied. Now I'm going to the other. And you could practice your French phrases, your Mardi Gras, as you were working. Mardi Gras means Fat Tuesday. It's celebrated because it's the last day before Lent on the Christian calendar. And phrases that people like to say are laissez le bon temps rouler, which means let the good times roll. Another phrase from my, goodness gracious, from my childhood growing up is et là-bas, which means so it goes, or it goes on. So here we go. We're going to come in and add the shading on the underside of the ribbons so that you can see where they are. So right here next to the mask, I'm going to add a couple lines. That's called hatching. I'm going to come underneath this side on the left. There we go. And then underneath this bottom line. And that's just some really basic hatching to help us get some dimension. All right, let's do the same on the other side. Against the mask. And then underneath. And then right here on the bottom. All right. The last thing I think I want to do is I would like to emphasize these eyelashes. So I'm going to go ahead and color them in. And you know what? I think I am also going to emphasize the line at the top of the eye by making it a little bit darker, almost like it had eye black or eye liner on it. So dramatizing that and kind of smoothing it into the first eyelash. All right. And now you are ready to add all kinds of color and things to your mask. It was great to see you guys. Have a fabulous Fat Tuesday, and I will see you again later.